Well, hello there, wiggas and niggas. It's Uppity White Guy again. We're gonna do one of our 10-cent talks. This is something that's been bothering me for some time. I should have did it earlier because some people will say it's outdated now, but really the ramifications of this incident we're still feeling today. So I still feel it's current because the ramifications of it are still going on, and they're gonna be going on for some time. Okay, about 3 years ago, you had a drug addict and a criminal pulled over in his car. Wouldn't get out of the car. He was black. There's a shocker. Let me explain something. You get pulled over. Hands 10 and 2, assholes. If the cop tells you to get out of the car, just fucking do it. But this guy was high in the car with his drug dealer. Had a history of criminal behavior. 2007, armed robbery of a pregnant woman. Forced his way into her house. Did time for that. Before that, years before that, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Did time for that. Numerous drug charges. After we can leave the drug charge. If they don't hurt anybody, I really don't even give a fuck about that. Really? I mean, I think drugs are disgusting. Unless they help you somehow. You know, like uppity white guys on blood pressure meds. You probably don't believe that, right? But yeah, I am. Because things piss me off. I can't go around throat punching people, so therefore my blood pressure goes up. But, because I behave myself, unlike a lot of you niggas. Okay. But, this guy got pulled out of his car and put on the ground. Now, the cop kind of rested his knee. Looked like on the back of his neck, but I'm not sure it was on the back of his shoulder or neck. Yeah, I'm talking about George Floyd. You know what I have to say to him? Fuck him! I'm glad he's gone. That's it. Another criminal met a bad end. But we all have to blame the white guy. We're not going to blame the fact that he was a drug abuser, which, according to the coroner, Dr. Baker, he had a 75% blockage in one of his arteries, and he was high as a kite on fentanyl, which can easily kill you. He had enough in his system. But we're not going to talk about that. The white guy killed him. If he had put him on the ground and just left him there, he would have died anyway. Motherfucker. No, he should have not pulled him over. He should have let him continue to drive away in the car high and run over 5 kids. Give me a fucking break. He did the world a favor. Actually, George Floyd did the world a favor because he took himself out. The cop, unfortunately, now is serving like 40 years to life or some shit like that. I didn't look up every fucking detail, but you know the story, so I don't feel I have to. This is a 10-cent talk. That's what it's worth. Look. This cop, because he's fucking white, the jury, the society already made up their minds. If they didn't come out with that verdict, they were going to threaten a riot and all that. That's not how the legal system should work. A verdict is a verdict. Okay? You should let the courts do their jobs. You can protest, but not riot. It's not the same fucking thing. Like according to Chris Homo on CNN, where does it say protests have to be polite? Or where does it say speaking up has to be polite? Well, when you burn down buildings and they get cops killed and other people killed, yeah, there's a line there, asshole. You can protest all you want. Heaven knows, all you niggas protest. Jesus Christ, you never shut the fuck up about it. Everything's a slight to you. Oh, this was horrible. He couldn't breathe. You know why he had a hard time breathing? Because he was dying from all the drugs in his system. Yeah, that's what the fuck it was. Okay, don't be stupid. But because of this asshole now, this is what I say, it's still current. Because of this asshole, it's still going on. We get a brand new holiday, Juneteenth, which I'll do a whole video on that later. God damn it. It seems most blacks in this country want their own holiday, their own national anthem. You know you're a fucking American, right? Blend in. You were not a slave yesterday. Let me explain something to you. I never owned anybody, and you never picked any fucking cotton. Okay? So, bullshit. Why the fuck you need your own holiday? I have no fucking clue. It's fucking bullshit. You got a whole month of Black history. You don't see white history being celebrated, which basically, white European people are not superior, but for the most part, your modern society was invented by white European people. I got the air conditioner going right now. Tyrone didn't invent that shit. There's an airplane just flew over my house. Yeah, Tyrone and Keyron didn't invent that either. I drove home in a car. Taniqua and Shanae didn't build it. Or invent it. White people did all this shit. That's why you're living the way you're living. Do you think a sewer system was invented? The Greeks invented that. Okay, they may have been a little dark-skinned, maybe, I don't know. But they weren't black, and they weren't from Africa. Okay, so give me a fucking break. We don't go around celebrating White History Month, which is basically 90% of how you live your life. But we have to celebrate Black History Month. So now we got a new black holiday because of this dead drug addict. Okay? They decriminalized theft because of this. All these Democrats passed laws, especially in California, because California is just basically, if we could just set explosives around a state and like break it off from the United States and let it flow down to the ocean, that would be great. It's a piss hole. But they decriminalized theft. So you can steal a certain amount. I don't know whether it's just below 1,000 or 100. I want to say it's 1,000. I could be wrong. So in San Francisco, they're going into all these CVS's and Walgreens, and those black kids again, those crazy black kids, are stealing tons of shit. So much that the neighborhood CVS has had to close. The neighborhood Walgreens stores are pulling out of California, especially San Francisco. Now what this does to a community is, if you got old people that, you know, it's around the fucking corner and they need their meds, and they don't have a car, and some of them are black, like old black people that don't behave that way. They can't get their meds now. Because you young Negroes had to go in and steal shit because it's legal to do so. So now you're hurting your own people in your own race. They can't go get their blood pressure meds or their anxiety or heart medication or whatever. And they've been living there for decades. Let's say they're old. They take public transportation. They can't go get their fucking medication because the store closed because of you. Way to go, blacks. Did it again. They burned down cities. These peaceful protests. Burning down courthouses and buildings isn't peaceful. And burning down shit in your own neighborhood's really super retarded, because then the stores don't rebuild. I saw one interview with some dopey white girl. It's okay because they have insurance. Okay, that doesn't make it okay. Second of all, their insurance goes up, then they don't come back to that area. You stupid cunt. So that means now the black communities where they burn shit down are even more depressed. Get it? And then they'll go, no, white people come here to open up stores. Well, that's because you niggas burn shit down. Fucking reach. It's not that hard. You don't have to be that smart. But since George Floyd, all that shit picked up, and that's happening. No punishing of these people. Not whatsoever. And then you got the defund cops movement, because the cop killed him, the white guy. Again, fentanyl killed him, asshole. But the cop is serving time. So now we want to get rid of all cops. What the fuck you think's gonna happen then? And I'm not really a supporter of cops. I find in my life they've always been useless. I find they do two things when you call them. They take notes, that's about it. Or the other time is they pull you over and basically take money from you because you're going this far over the speed limit. So I got one. You know, that's the only time I've ever seen them. They've never helped, never dropped out of the sky when you could need them. They're not there. They're never there. They're like, we can't be everywhere. Well, then I don't fucking need you. Because I'm gonna defend myself anyway, right, asshole? That's why uppity white guy has some guns in the house. But look, law-abiding citizen, I haven't shot anybody yet, but I'm just saying, these fucking cops, I find them useless, but defunding them is completely stupid. Of course the criminals want you to defund them. They want less cops. They always blame everything on the police, I mean, they're the ones committing the crime. But the police, that's horrible. This attitude is picked up since that fucking George Floyd, that fucking drug addict. If he just got out of the fucking car and dropped dead like he was supposed to, this wouldn't happen. Again, listen to the cop. But he was so fucking high, he's got to argue with the cop's got to pull him out of the car. I don't see OJ in jail. He chopped off a white woman's head. He walking around free. Getting like 20-something thousand a month or something from the NFL pension or whatever. The cop's in jail. No, it's the same thing. It's no different at all. Yeah, fuck you. So, the Democrats love this kind of black. This is the kind of black they like. He's poor. He had no fucking job. He's drug addicted. Supposedly, they can blame his death on a white guy. This is the kind of shit that Democrats love. Because they know he will vote Democrat. Because he will not be held accountable for laws. He'll get free shit, free government cheese, and he will vote Democrat all day long. And he'll tell his kids, his baby mama and his illegitimate kids, to vote Democrat too. Because the white devil. They love that shit. Slavery ended 200-something years ago. Newsflash, you probably don't know that if you're black. Most of you. But the Democrats have kept you enslaved. They've invented a new kind of plantation. We'll get into this in another video. But they love George Floyd's. There's been statues built to this asshole while we tear down great statues of people who helped build America. Real Americans, real American patriots. Oh, they were white. So we put up statues of a fucking criminal. Murals on walls. If I find a wall around here with him, I'm gonna piss on it. Okay, fuck him. I'm glad he's dead. That's it. He would have died anyway. All the cop had to do, which he didn't know he was, stoned out of his mind, and all the cop had to do was throw him on the ground and leave him there. He would have dropped dead anyway. But he would have been blamed for that, probably. But at least he wouldn't have had the knee on him. Right. White people get shot all the time by cops. Never hear anything about it. I could go dig up stories. It's online. But why bother? You're not going to listen. I can't breathe. I can't. First of all, if you're saying that, you can get air in, so you can kind of breathe. He's probably having a hard time breathing because he's in the middle of overdosing and dying. He was saying that before he put the fucking knee on him. Jesus fucking Christ. So, it may seem outdated, but I just started making these videos and I gotta talk about George Floyd. It may seem outdated, like that happened 3 years ago, but the ramifications we feel are happening right now, fucking today. Trust me, they are. And so the ramifications are happening right now, currently. And they're going to be felt for years. Because this one asshole died, and it was like a spark that set shit in motion, and all the Democrats hopped up and down. They love the fact that this guy died. Don't bullshit me. Oh, poor George Floyd. He was what? He was a drug addict and a criminal. He did so much time, longer than my arm. Stretches in the joint. But this is what they idolize. I'm going to do more videos on this later. But when I worked at Walmart, when I went back to school, it fit the hours. You grab whatever job you can when you're in school. So when I worked at Walmart, me and my friend Duncan, we used to work in one aisle, stocking stuff at the end of the night, and all the black kids would congregate and they'd go to another aisle. You know, everybody was supposed to have an aisle or something, but all the black kids, like 5 of them, would go to one aisle. Nobody would pay attention and nobody cared. But we could hear them a couple hours away. This is the problem with their culture. Okay? I'll do a whole video chat on this, and I'll redo this again. But here's the problem. It's very simple. What would they talk about in the aisle? Duncan and I were cracking up. We couldn't believe it. So like, they'd idolize George Floyd and shit like that. They wore the masks. I can't breathe. Well, of course you can't breathe. Those masks don't allow you to breathe, retard. But here's the fuck they talk about. Their Air Jordans they bought, how many pairs they had, how many iPhones they had, whose relative did the most time in the joint. Because if you did 5 years, that's like getting a master's, nigga. No, it's 5 years in prison. You should not be promoting that. But they did. Baby mamas, how many you got? How many illegitimate kids you got? And the number one topic, every night, I shit you not, I never even thought about this. The number one fucking topic, who's the darkest skinned nigga in the aisle? If you were light-skinned, they all jumped on the kid that was light-skinned. Maybe because he was closer to a white person? We don't know. But all I know is it was some funny fucking shit if you had to listen to this. Not one mention of education. Not one person saying, oh, I got this paper to write for school. Nope. Not one fucking thing. Baby mamas, illegitimate kids, relatives in school, iPhones, Air Jordans, and who's the darkest skinned Negro in the aisle? That's what the fuck they talked about. Every night! Until that changes, nothing's gonna change. And I will talk about that. There's a name for all of that. There's one word, an umbrella term. I'm not gonna give it to you here, because that'll be in another video, when I talk about black people and why their culture is so fucked up, and what they can do to fix it. And it's on them. But again, George Floyd, he allowed more of this behavior to happen. They held him up and said, well, that's my excuse. I can go rob a store now because George Floyd got killed. We now have a holiday, our own holiday, because St. George Floyd. Boy, if he lived, he would have been an astronaut. No. He would have did more time in the joint. He would never have lived because he had too much dope in his system. But had he got through that OD he was having, he would have been back in the joint. He probably would have shot somebody. He would have stole something. He would not have been a lawyer. He would not have been a speaker, a motivational speaker. He would not have been a fucking astronaut, okay? He would have been inmate number blah, 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 blah. That's what the fuck he would have been. So, fuck him. I'm glad he's dead. Your holiday's fucking stupid. And stop stealing shit. So George Floyd, you can go fuck yourself in these balls.